Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys we're gonna review an Exo-Force set which was released in 2006, and it's from the bad guy side, so the evil bot side, and it's called the Thunder Fury, and it's one of the four medium sets released in the first wave of 2006. So, the front of the box, of course, you see the Thunder Fury, which is kind of the heavy mecha of the robot. Also, you can see, of course, the Lego Exo-Force logo, stuff like that, the Devastator head, which is the pilot of the mecha, which you can see here. And here, got some little nice stuff. So, for example, you see the shape, here's the shape of the robot. Here's the shape of the chainsaw, which is his left weapon. And here's the shape of the big gun, which is his right weapon. Also, you got a little shape which represents the chain gun on the front of the mecha. But you're gonna see that later, and this little logo right here is meant to represent the fact that there is a lighter brick in this model, which was really the big gimmick of Exo-Force 26. But it's not the end, because you can open the front, kind of, and here you will see a little comic strip which represent the Thunder Fury fighting everything and destroying tons of stuff and metal scraps everywhere, and then the coming of the one mecha, which I don't remember the name, but it's piloted by Takeshi, which is the green-haired guy, right here. And there you got a front view of the Thunder Fury again, but this time it's ready to show up all the little close-up of all the details. So you got the lighter bricks here, how it works, we're going to see that later, and then the two weapons right here, so the chainsaw and the guns, and you got also a little 3D effect. I maybe not see, but in transparency right here you see all the little polygons used in the in the modelization of the mecha. That was what was used on the evil guy. And there you see the alternative model, which is also really famous in 2006 because every set has an alternative model, and so this one also got one. But you just got 4 pictures of instruction to help you on the website, so that was quite hard to build them. And this one is called the Fire Fury. On the back of the box, and maybe on the side, you got a 1:1 scale fake picture of the robot, the bot. And on the back, you got, well, it's quite the same on the two evil guys. You got the combiner you can make with the two medium robots, so the Thunder Fury and I don't remember the name. I was really a fan of Exo-Force 2006, but I totally forget all of their names, so excuse me for that. Well, remind me them in the comments. And here, little pictures of every Wave 1 sets. So all the medium mag, the two little one, and the two playset, one playset and one the Sonic Phantom. I don't remember the name. So here we go for the box. And now the instruction booklet really quickly. So same pictures as on the front of the box. And you got the famous stuff where you put all the stickers at the end, which was really tiring, in fact, because you just finish the building, and now you can't really play with the model because still you have to put all the stickers. So of course it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to put all of the stickers, but in 2006 there was really tons of them. Parts list, the same landscape we have seen on the back of the box, right here. Coming on them again, and that's all. And now for the most interesting part of the review, the set itself. So maybe first of all we're gonna see the little robot, which is the bot, excuse me, which is put in. It's called Devastator, and this one, which was really a cool thing on the 6, is that they are silver, but they also got some trans-red fade, which is really neat. And you can see here, well, maybe not because my like that. Maybe you can see the little transferred fade in the silver color, so very neat and very nice. But you don't have any eyes made with a technique part on this one. So here we go for the Devastator. And for those who have not seen my previous Exo-Force review, here are the articulations, so you can really, there you go, you can turn into 360, yes, 360 degrees, and there feet, their legs blocked at this point. and of course the hands can turn, so well, it's quite perfect in fact. No real problem apart from the head, which is molded into the body, but well, it's not really a problem, and they're really good looking, and the trans-white fade is really a nice detail. That's all for the sword guy. Now let's go for the Thunder Fury, the mecha itself. So the color scheme of this one is black and dark red, with also some dark gray, as you can notice. So excuse me, it was put in pause in my French at the end of my French review. Now we're gonna put him in a more neutral way. So I'm gonna begin to explain how the legs works, which is really what works, and how they're made, which is really simple and straightforward because it's really simple. In fact, no real big deal here. So you can see some slope part. Again, this part are used in fact for roof in the Lego system series most of the time. Here they are used on this shoulder kind of. Here you got also some angle part again, so slope part, which was really used tons of times in the with the Exo-Force set, with the good guy set. It was more curved part, and with the robot guys, it was more more edgy part like that, with more slope part and stuff like that. So here you go, really used tons of times, nothing really impressive. And the same goes for the feet. The foot, excuse me. Well, the 2 feet are okay. Just destroy this. Just want to show you how it works. But again, it's made with a slope brick, white hairs everywhere, so really simple. I got an hole, and you got the pin white hair, so you link that like that. And of course, all of these parts are put on this gray part, which is the articulation section, of course, the articulation piece. And of course, there is 2 axes on each of the 3 points of articulation, so you can turn this like that and like that. And the same goes for this one and this one. For the 2 legs, of course, because they are symmetrical. And that's the same for the legs, so well, quite simple. You can see nothing really interesting right here. Here's the part to link them, and this time there is no point of articulation in the waist and the pelvis section, so it's really all blocky. And I'm gonna see that how it works now. So I'm gonna just put off some parts. Well, maybe not all the parts. Yes, no. Well, okay. So I'm gonna put off the kind of the roof part, I can say so. Then put off the side part. It just to explain you how it works, in fact. And this part, also the cockpit part. And here we go. So you can see we have the pelvis part I've shown you just seconds ago. On this part, we're gonna put a plate on the back, and also some plate right here. I'm not the name for this type of plate, well, not really a problem. So yes, again, it's kind of a snod construction, so we're gonna link these bricks with pins modded into them. And finish with that, as you can see. But the most, I think, interesting part is these technique beams, which are really useful, in fact, first to link this part, the side part, and again, and also to activate the light brick, we can say here, the trans brick, which is the light brick. And notice, really, take attention to this little part, because it's really useful, as you can see. It's just on the top of where the switch on the light brick, because on the light brick, there is kind of a little switch. And it's just on the top of that. So notice that, also notice that it can move up. So, well, just think about that, and we're gonna see later how it works when the model will be complete. So I think that's quite all. Yes, notice also the little trans hose pipe right here, which is trans clear hose pipe right here, which is quite useful for to just to light up the weapon. I said later. Now we're gonna talk about the side parts. So here we go. Of course, interferes are kind of blocky and bulky also. So here we go. Again, some just slope brick. Again, it's really just about slope bricks, but in some ways. So you can see it's a cone right here. Same goes here. Trans red, sloped part everywhere. And really notice this part, that the part really goes on the. Well, it really goes on the front, in fact. It really goes, yes, in the front. So it's really important for the dynamic of the set and the overall design. Also notice the arm, which are the same articulation as the legs. excuse me. And also, yes, notice the weapon, which is in fact a Vaki, the white Vaki, which is called, I don't have the name of the white Vaki, but wait for the 2004. And this time it's the same weapon, but recolored in black with some red, some dark red fade, which is really cool, really neat. And some articulation parts right here, we're gonna see that later. So, gonna link this on this technique beams, very useful. Let's see. And then the cockpit part, which is made with a car mud guard white ears, and also the chain gun, which is made with little, well, I think it's called binoculars. This technique will be reused in other sets like the Mobile Devastator, I think, and maybe on the mecha in the Sentai Fortress. So here goes job brick again. Gonna link that on this little plate, so nothing really solid white ears. This is one of the problems with the first Exo-Force set. It was not really all sturdy and really solid. In fact, some parts were kind of fragile. So now we're gonna put the roof part right here. You can see also that the hose pipe passed through this technique plate brick. I say technique because there is some pinhole in there. So here we go. This part will be useful, in fact, to link together the two side parts. As you can see, so now it's really all linked together. We're going to talk later about this little axle, and also notice the little harpoon right here, which are quite useful. Harpoon gun in black, and which are in fact used for the little details to make some spines on the back, which really look quite nice. Now the left side, the right side, the right side is quite the same as the left side, apart from the weapon, of course. This time it's a big gun, which is linked with this technique part, and while it's really not complicated at all, because it's to sum up, it's just some rounded bricks, as you can see right here, linked together with some cone bricks right there on the two sides. This pillar bricks also, which is kind of round, for the top of the gun, and the ammunition are made with some plates, which on the front view really look thin, as you can clearly see. And also notice the trans-clear hose pipe right here, which will be useful to make some kind of, yes, I don't have the name for this, but yes, not really. Nah. Excuse me for that. Kind of a laser crosshair, if I can say so. So, by the way, I think that's quite enough for the model we have done. I think I explained everything of it. So now we're going to talk about the articulation of the set and the gimmicks also. So first of all, we're going to see the light brick because it's really useful. So as I said earlier, you have noticed the black brick right here. You have noticed also the light bricks, which is here with the switch on it. And also you have noticed that these technique beams can be put on, can be pulled down like that. And so we're going to put up the light. And I'm going to pull off the lever, and we're going to see what's happened. And it's lighting up for you. So of course, you have quite understand that when I pull down the lever, the little technique bricks is pulled up, in fact, and then just press the switch on the bricks. So this means that it's light up. So as you can see, it's light up on the center, which is kind of look like the core of the mecha, and then of course, it light up all the way in the hose pipe, in the transfer hose pipe, to this point. Here we go. And then this axle part is useful, in fact, to just put off the light brick when you want, so because it's quite hard to put off with your fingers, stuff like that, so it's really useful. So just press down gently, and here we go, you got it. And you can see because there is all you can easily, so here you go, here's the little switch, pressing on right now, and of course you can put this back very simply. Again, just push the brake, and here you go. And now for the articulation section, excuse me, so of course, as I said earlier, we've got 3 points of articulation for this, for the 2 legs, of course, and this 3 points of articulation got 2 axes, like that. I think that's quite clear. Of course, you got the gimmick right here. Also on this, the light blue gimmick, here you got one part of articulation with 2 axes, and here also some articulation with 2 axes, so it can turn. And also turn at 20 degrees maximum, and when it blocks at this point. So here's the range of articulation for the chainsaw weapon. And here it's quite difficult because it's, well, you also got one articulation like the legs, so 2 axes again, and here it just can turn in fact, and sometimes if you turn too much the articulation, this part will fall off because you can see, well, the hose pipe is quite short, so you can't make, here you can see it just fell off because I pushed it, well, too far, in fact. So quite a drawback on this set. The fact that the hose pipe is, well, maybe it should have been longer for this one. And that's all I think for the articulation section. So I'm now gonna put off the butt on these 4 studs. Right here, and here we go. So I'm gonna do a little pause, and then I'm gonna sum up on this set and how it's stacked up. So, well, here we go. Here we go. So, to be quick, I will say that the drawback on this set maybe is that the fact that it is kind of fragile, like all of the 2006 Exo-Force set. So some parts kind of fall off, so you have to be careful with some section, like the weapon section. The cockpit also, which is not really linked in a strong way, if I can say so. Also the drawback maybe the fact that the legs are really simple. In fact, in terms of construction, I mean there is nothing really impressive with just putting a part like that on here. So there are some legs with more interesting legs. This one doesn't get interesting legs apart from the feet maybe, which are, well, quite okay. And I think that's quite all for the drawback, seriously, because I don't see any other drawback. The good points are, well, the part selection is quite good, again, if you want some bricks like that, some slot plate bricks. Also, this can be useful for bionicle muckers, because it was just in this set. And also the butt, which is a transferred color, which is quite unique, in fact. And I think that's quite all. So if you want me to sum up with my opinion, it's not really my favorite maker of all the time. I don't really know why. I also noticed that the fact that the upper part is really bulky, in contrast to the lower part, the legs part, excuse me, which is really, in fact, thin. If you look at the legs, it's really thin, nothing really big or strong or bulky on the legs part, and this part is really bulky, so that's quite looks strange at first, but well, it's also a part of the overall design. So for me, this set is quite, well, interesting for its heavy parts, but his heavy design parts, but apart from that, seriously, it's not really that interesting. I'm not really fan of this mecha. For example, I'm not really fan of the gun, which I think is really simple, maybe too simple, because they don't really try to make something really interesting. In fact, it's just some one-head bricks all thrown together, and here you go, you got your big gun, but not really interesting for me. And well, at least I'm not really a fan of the overall design, even if it's quite interesting because it's quite different from the other mechas. And well, I think that's all, guys. Again, it's just my opinion, so I will still say that it's a good mecha, no really big drawback and stuff like that. So again, it's up to you to to have your opinion on this set. And I really hope that this review was helpful for that. So well, that's all, guys. So see you later for another Bionicle or Exo-Force video review. And of course, if you have any question on this set I have not answered in my review, feel free to ask them. And that's all. So bye bye.